third and final overtime or rule change that is absolutely insane. This is
Yes, the
the
best rule change.
XFL overtime rule changes that they have proposed. And folks, this is a bit of a doozy. Overtime will be decided by a multiple round shootout of 2-point conversions, similar to a penalty shootout in soccer. You heard me right, a multiple round shootout of 2-point conversions, similar to a penalty shootout in soccer. There will be 5 rounds of the shootout where the offense can score a point by converting in the end zone, while the defense can score a point by forcing a turnover. So basically, you have one play, and you have to try to score. If you score, you get a point. If they stop you, nobody gets a point, but if the defense makes you turn it over, they get a point. To speed up this process, both teams' offenses and defenses will be on the field at the appropriate end zone at the same exact time. Basically, they're going to have
people on the field.
Yes, they're going to have 44 people on the field for the entire overtime, all 5 rounds. But it's going to be one offense on one side, one offense on the other, one defense on one side, and one defense on the other. This offense goes, then once that play's over, the other offense goes. They reset on the other side and go once the other team's done. It's a back and forth, who scores the most out of 5. And then basically, yeah, the other team, and then each team has an opportunity to win the game, provides a way for the defense to make a greater impact on the outcome of the overtime, and would limit it to about 5 minutes. Basically, you can still get a tie. You can still get a tie. Yeah, you can get a tie if neither team, or if you both score 5 touchdowns, that's a tie. Or you both score 2, you both score 3, whatever. It's a tie game. It's a tie. So basically, 44 players on the field, both offenses, both defenses, and they go in simultaneously. Like they go, then they're done. And yeah, it's a best of 5. Basically, you can go ahead, Mania. Go ahead.
Okay, if the NFL does any rule change, if they take anything from the XFL, they need to take the overtime rules, because it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely innovative. It's certainly the brainchild of something only Vince McMahon could come up with something like this. Like only Vince McMahon, because the idea of it at first, you're like, oh, a 5-round shootout, that makes sense. Offense offense plays and then defense plays and the other team walks out. Nah, they're on the other side of the field ready to go in an instant. That's what I like to see in a game that's trying to speed up the game of football, trying to mainstream it, trying to mainline it, get it into the hands of the consumer, and get them in, get them out fast as possible. Boom, bang, bomb. You got your game. Here you go. And it's exciting. I agree with everything you said, Mania. If you want to talk more, go ahead. I love this rule. I think it's great. I think it's exactly what the NFL needs to think about. The NFL needs to be this forward-thinking. They need to be this experimental and give it a try. Give something a try, because your overtime system apparently has people that upset that now everybody's trying something new. It's archaic. I guess it's a little unfair that not every team gets a shot because their defense fucked them. So whatever. This seems cool.
The NFL has always, if you look at how they do rule changes, they've always been reactionary. They never look ahead at all. And they always sit back. They listen to the fans get outraged, so they change the rule, and then they'll get outraged, and then they change the rule, and then they get outraged, and then they change the rule. They need someone they need to just look at the XFL and watch its model. They're thinking ahead, thinking, how can we make this fair with the least amount of controversy and not just react to everything? I agree. The NFL needs to be forward thinking, because right now they're just reactionary thinking, and that's not good for the NFL. Especially with Vince McMahon back on the map.
Yep. Basically, that's a good way to look at it. I don't really have much more I can add. It's a very good way to look and think about things. So I don't have any more to add on the rule changes. Do you?
No, I don't. It's just if you look at the rule changes, they're definitely taking a lot of hockey and soccer. It's very smart thinking, taking influence from other sports, which
to improve upon your own game. Yeah. It seems very forward thinking by the XFL to include all this. But I mean, what do you expect with a league that helped to innovate the modern day NFL as we know it today? Of course, the XFL is going to come up with wild things that nobody thinks are feasible or doable, but the NFL does a lot of them to this day, especially the Sky Cam that they stole. So,
Yes.